that.
So see how there's clearly a hidden seller there? Hidden seller, 61. So no trades yet. There's a hidden seller there at 61. So I'll take a starter at 62 right now because it broke that hidden seller. And now over
Just barely broke it.
70 is where I'd like to add. I see a good sized bid there.
Yeah, here it comes on big drop.
That drop. So that's not holding up. So stopped out.
That was big.
And I can give it a second now. It's going to probably do this red to green setup. So the high is 69. The low of this pullback is 39 right now. So I'm going to let it pull back. 10-second chart. Oops, 10-second chart. There we go. Alright, so we're going to see where this bases out.
Volume.
So the high is 69.
Not a whole lot of volume.
Be watching for a red to green setup. So high of this last 1 minute candle is,
Doing one mate bid?
let's see, high of the last one was 55, high of the current one is 44.
This stock is hard to borrow, so I can't short it. Though I haven't been super successful in shorting anyway.
I'm going to switch over to a 1 minute chart. I have that current candle right now is 44. So I'm trying to decide if the first 1 minute candle here to make a new high is a setup I want to take. That would be over 44. Just watching this right now. I have an order ready at 45.
When are we getting the suitcases?
I think they're coming in Saturday.
What I want to
They're
see
in
would be a
several
big buyer step up.
Pieces. It's so when you say cops are only moving them, like going and picking them up and bringing them here, or how's he getting them here?
35.
He's borrowing Matthew.
And then over 45 is where I would add. So watching for the break of 45 with a stop at 25. For that, trying to anticipate that first 1 minute candle to make a new high.
What the pledge was that?
No,
What?
stopped out at 29, no follow through. So I kept my stop really tight. I added at 35 and was out at 29.
He's lost twice on this
So only
stock
6 cent
now.
stop.
Why is he talking like that?
I think it's catching up. The data. I think it was like
Behind.
slow buffering,
Because it was
meaning
sort of basing there
you're
at
still
30,
seeing things
I
happen,
kinda
but
thought,
it's
all right,
slow.
well, if I can get in
And
right
so
off
then
that base and
catches
then
up, and so
it rips up
real fast.
to 50 and then breaks over the highs, then that would work. But
Yeah, this stock looks like it's dropped. Just hit the bottom VWAP. Talking to you.
so now it's actually down 2%.
You're so angry.
Though it is hitting the bottom of the RSI, which is a good spot to pop back up at. So we'll see what it does. A lot of times things will bounce off the bottom VWAP line, and things will pop up when it hits the bottom of the RSI line. Demand is super low though, like no one cares right now about this stock. And the MACD's been coming down since it opened.
Hi, beautiful.
So everything's indicating down. But this should start to level out, I imagine, around this area. If it keeps to drop, then this week has not been a very high momentum week, so it's been a very tough week to trade. But that being said, I'm up $514 this week currently. If I chose not to take any trades today, I would be up $514 this week. So, who knows? We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll take a trade, maybe I won't. Better to end the week up 514 than end the week down 100. I'd be so mad. Especially if I look at that, it's still dropping. 312 now. Yeah, I'm kind of done looking at that stock, in fact.
So, but right now I'm just sitting tight. I'm gonna wait for something to hit the scanners that looks good. PRPO off the gap scanner. You know, so far we've got 2, 4, 6, 7 red candles in a row.
Can you do 30 times 1,000 for me real quick? That's 30,000, isn't it?
1,000.
Yeah, it should. I'm pretty sure it's 30,000.
Yeah, because you got a 0 and then 1.
Yeah. That one's easy math, Nathan. There's a stock right now that's $30.15. That is at the top of the RSI. Demand is flattening out and at the top. And the MACD's been coming up since open. Checking the news. There's a secondary offering. I'm surprised. Secondary offering by its shareholders, valued holdings at $28. It's well above 28, which is interesting. I wonder if it's gonna good short opportunity. It's easy to borrow. I could easily get 1,000 shares of it, maybe 1,500. I think this would probably be a good spot to go short
how much
on
did
it.
you get paid today?
Oh, you got paid today?
Yeah.
Be careful, don't walk in front of the camera.
Are you still? How are you recording? Why?
Because I want to record my trades this morning. This is where I'd want to go short, but I'm nervous to go short because I don't want to lose some money. Ooh, a bunch of sellers are on it right now. Alright, I'm going short. Let's see what happens. We're at 30.14. 70 bucks, 50 bucks.
Hey, babe. You're not sharing that with anybody, right?
I plan to.
With who?
I don't know, family. Where should my stop be? It's got, it just, everything is showing me it's going to go short. So I don't want to get out right now. I expect it to drop below 30. So, I'm short it. Stop would be... I don't know, 5 cents. Volume came in. RSI is pointing up again. MACD's still down. Could be a fake breakout, or it could be a strong stock. I still suspect it's gonna drop though. What was the high of it? Oh man.
This looks like a bear flag on PRPO.
I really don't want to see it go above 25.
Can you pass me a mate, babe?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yesterday's high on GSL was 820.
Thank you.
But then it dropped back down.
All right. There we go. Out of 30-10. 40 bucks on that trade, but I was getting nervous. Should have. Better to take profits than to take losses, though. I really suspect this thing's gonna go below 30. There it goes. Boom. That's what I thought was gonna happen. Should have sold half. Should have sold half, babe. Not all of it.
What did you say?
I should have sold half instead of the full 1,000. I should have just sold 500 shares. Because everything was looking like it was gonna come down. Just that slide up made me nervous. Could have sold it at 30 and been good. But better up and down. Because here it comes back up again. Boom, now it'd be negative. So what you're looking at here is it hit this bottom or the top part of the RSI line and it started to pop up again. Demand got to this middle ground and it started popping up again. MACD started coming down and it's leveling out. These are indicators that just spots where it can bounce. So if you were long in this, if it popped below the RSI line, that's where you'd be looking, okay, it's going to keep going down. Popping all, gosh, good thing I got out, look at that. If I'd stayed in, you got to take profits when you get them because you just never know where it's going to pop. And now it probably come all the way back down again. We'll see what happens. Because this could be a false breakout. It did that pop on 151,000 volume. So a decent amount of volume popped it, but it's not even a really big candle. And it's just high this RSI. I really think it's still gonna drop. I think that's a fake out jump. Or it's got a lot of resistance right here at 25. 30, 25, 30, 30 area. It could have a lot of resistance there. If it continues to pop through that, then it's going to go long for a bit. But look at all this red over here. A lot of people are selling, some green. Good spot to probably go short, honestly. This would be a good spot to probably take a short. Because I suspect here in the next little bit, it's going to drop back down again. But a lot of buys just came in.
AGTC just because the float's a little higher. That's really the only reason I was.
I'm not sure if you're hearing me on this camera.
Not sure.
Not sure if you're hearing Ross. See what Ross is doing right now. So Ross is focusing on AGTC. These are the scanners. When things ping, they come up here and you can see some information on them. Bring them up and choose to go for it or choose not to. Looks like it might be finding a support here. So that being said, look, probably going to go up. Well, it's going to do one of two things, right? So it came up, rejected a little bit, it's finding resistance, but it's also finding a support. So those are good indicators that the market's trying to figure out what it's going to do. The fact that it's at the top of the RSI, demand is not super high, it's barely above 0. MACD's down, that tells me it could go up because it's already down. But the RSI and it just broke below the RSI, it's going to drop. And it's about to drop. Boom, there it goes. Alright, so when I was saying earlier, if you had gone long here anticipating a drop, would have proven to do well currently. Now, there's nothing saying it can't scream back up, because it can. But if you had gotten in at 327 over here, and you were nervous about it, you can get out right here at 22, and you'd be 5 cents up. 5 cents on 1,000 shares is not a ton of money, but we're looking at a $30 stock as well. So if this was a $5 stock, you could have got 5,000 shares of it, and it would have been a big, big difference. And look, if you watch the demand, it's leveling out. RSI is leveling out, but I still feel like it's going to be a drop. MACD's coming down even more. Yeah, this one's dropping. Let's see. So 1,000 shares times 0.05. You made 50 more bucks. If you decided to hold, believing that it was going to keep coming down from 27 to, gosh, got down to 5 cents here. 20 cents. So if you decided to get out now at 10, that would have been, I don't know. Math's not my forte. 27, it would have been 17 cents. That should have been easy math. 1,000 shares times 0.05 could have been, that can't be right. 1,000 shares times 0.17 would have been 170 bucks if you continued to hold, because once it goes short, typically it's going to fall hard. Typically, not always, but I would be this. If you had bought up here at 27, and you were still decided to hold and not get scared out here because you were already positive, you could have done pretty well. And as soon as it drops below 30, I'll bet it's going to scream down to somewhere around 29.83, somewhere in there. So this line right here is my 30-day moving average. It's a potential bounce spot. That being said, if you look across on this chart, it has also found a support once here and now again here at just above 30. So that is potentially a bounce spot as well. If you were looking for a place to go long, that would be somewhere where you could put an order at, like, I wouldn't put an order there just because I believe it's going to pop below 30. But if I was going to put a long order on this, I'd probably put it somewhere closer to 29.88 or 29.85 is where I would potentially think, because I think it's going to burn past $30 here in a second. I could be wrong. That's just my assumption. It definitely is finding a support there, just above 30. But I think that it will pull back. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. We'll do a 30-minute video today, so we've got 10 more minutes on this video. Obviously, you don't have to watch the whole thing. This is mostly for me to recap myself and look back on. But I'll share it with y'all as well. Maybe you'll be excited to watch it. 30 minutes is a long time to invest in the day. You can watch it at a faster speed if you want to get through it quicker. I did only take one trade so far today, and I think that's probably all I'm gonna do. Bring this down a little bit. Taking a short at 30.14, getting out of it at 30.10. It was only, it was only a 4-cent gain, which is not huge. But again, you take that same 4 cents on a cheaper stock. We're dealing with a $30 stock. You take that same 4 cents on a $5 stock. If I got 5,000 shares of it, 4 cents is, gosh, somewhere around $200 probably. Oh, look, so it went long, right? That's interesting. So you see that the demand is coming up. The RSI is cupping and coming up. That does not mean it's going to continue up. Remember over here how it did a quick bump and then fade? That same thing could happen here. And the fact that it's not pushing up a lot real hard give me cause to wait on that. 1 minute there was 99,000, almost 100,000 shares of volume, and on the next minute we've only had 13,000 now.
150 million shares, so
almost 20 seconds into it.
A little bit of residential property managers.
Yeah, and so yeah, I think these are good indicators that it wants to go up. People are getting in, thinking, anticipating a jump. My personal opinion is it's going to be a drop, but I could be wrong.
So my feeling right now is I'm just kind of waiting for something to hit the scanner that looks good, like PRPO did yesterday. PRPO didn't give a second day continuation, which is disappointing, but not entirely surprising. What I'd really like to see is something hit the scanner and start to rip up.
A lot of buys. People are buying at 30.13. Now people are selling. You can see the number of shares being sold or bought over here. Ooh, a lot of red.
PRPO yesterday did have a headline.
Look at that one. That was a red candle, and it ended up being 156,000 and a half. Here comes our pop below 30 probably. Nope, it's holding it still. It's still finding a lot of support on this line. You can also look at our 5-minute chart over here for the first bit of the day coming up, and only one 5-minute candle coming down. Just made a new high on the 1 minute. That's a good indicator of growth. See the cup? See the demand? MACD's coming up now. I personally feel like it's a fake out. So I'm not getting in the trade right now. But so if it does go long, I'm thinking it could come up here to high days again, up to 1330 area or up to the top VWAP. Because when it came down, it's popped up near the top VWAP.
The biggest
and then
problem
it fades.
with Fran is that the
So if it does go, we got good potential to come up here to 330 again. But I feel like there's resistance, and I think it's gonna drop. Not a whole lot of volume on it. We got just over 5 minutes left in this video, so hopefully we get to see in the next 5 minutes what happens. I don't want to do longer than a 5-minute video. Sorry, 30-minute video. I think that would get too long. And I think the most important part of the day is the first 30 minutes. That being said, yesterday, a stock, I think it was PRPO, jumped starting around 10:15 or 10:30, something like that, and it popped pretty hard. So, I mean, obviously, stocks can pop later in the day, but I don't have that long because I got to go to work. So let's see what this does. My personal opinion is it's still going to drop. Now, over the past couple of minutes, obviously this 30-day average has come up. So now it's at, what is it at? 29.94. So as a potential bounce line, as that's coming up, that number's coming up. So I could see it popping below 30 and then jumping off of 29.96, somewhere in there. If it blows through that one, that's just a potential pop line. It doesn't have to pop off that line, but it can. 30.03. Come on, go below 30. It's happening. If it goes below 30, it's going to lose a lot of long momentum because that's where its support line has been.
Reverse split.
And so as soon as it pops below 30, I think we're going to see some pretty dramatic droppage. And dramatic being 10 to 20 cents.
Right now.
So I think it could drop to 30.80, 30.90, 30.80 pretty easily if it pops below 30. And if that's honestly your thought process on it, this would be another good place to potentially go short. But it's got to drop below 30.
I think I like the idea. It's not hitting the high day scanners because the float and trade idea still says 55 million or 53 million.
So this stock is the one that hit Ross's scanners. He didn't go to it because he looks at stocks typically between $1 and $10. He doesn't really like the $1 stocks, so honestly he really focuses on $2.53 and up to $10. Sometimes he'll go after stocks between $10 and $15, but rarely does he go for anything above $15. Very rarely. Unless there's just crazy momentum in it, and it started around between $10 and $15 and is just going crazy up. But I figured it doesn't seem like there's much in the small cap market, so let me try a more expensive stock since I am practicing right now with $26,000. Every week I'm going to start with a new $26,000 and see if I can be profitable. So what's happening here? We've seen the RSI is cupping again. The demand is now pushing up again. So it could be a potential small 5-cent gainer if you got in long. Or it's another fake out where it's going to fall down. So this is the emotional part of the market. The hard, there's no clear indicator of what's going to happen. Honestly, you probably could put a short at $29.99. So if it did pop below 30, you're going to take 5-10 cents of that pop below 30. And the way you would do that is you would just come in here to $29.99, click for a short. If it happened to blow through that, it would take that order. Now there might be some slippage where it happens to pick it up at $29.98, $29.97, $29.96, somewhere's in there. But if it blew through 30, it would potentially pick up that order, and then it would execute. And I think that would probably be a good place to hold it if you're just looking for 5 to 10 cents, because if it blew through 30, you could quickly get out again somewhere. I'm saying that and I'm thinking, I don't want to lose $40. Made $40 today. So I'm going to close that out. Had I been up $300, $500 today, I'd be willing to take that trade. And it's probably a smart trade. And my time's up. 10 seconds over. So, if you want to recap what this stock did throughout the day, we're currently at 9 o'clock and 20 seconds. So if you want to look back at it, the stock is CTRP, and you can see what happened to happen after 9 o'clock with this stock. Had you left in an order at $29.99 and then put in a buy order at $29.91 just to see if it took it. If it blows through 30, I'm pretty sure it'll go lower than 91, but that's just my opinion. And I think there's good potential for it to drop that little bit that we're looking for. Anyway, feel free to do that. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording.